Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, it's been 7 years now since Obama ordered his Fed chairman to lower the savings rate from 5% to less than 0.25%. With the false narrative, it would spur economic growth and jobs. Everyone would have an opportunity in this economy. That's what he said. But what it spurred was a front-loading of the biggest, fake, unsustainable stock market rally of 200%. That's what it spurred. Now, most people did not participate in that rally because people got out of their 401k in 2009. And they said, just get me out. I want nothing but fixed income. And they got killed because with low interest rates, fixed incomes get murdered. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to really retire, you got to be associated with the stock market. That's why you come to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Everybody was asking me, how did I know to short forward when it was November? And it was when Aunt B was telling us everything was fine. Well, what people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us. Because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal, and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber-jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I'm here to help you. I'm tired, and you should be tired, of listening to these financial shows like CNBC where they're all geniuses and they're always wrong. Look, stop worrying about the price to book and the price to sales and all the stuff they tell you think you need to know. You don't need to know any of that. Anybody can make money in the stock market using charts. It's about money flow. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of as a St. Jude parent. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, many people left the stock market after the crash, and here's why.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
And that's still going on. That's your planner. They don't represent you. They represent themselves, your money manager. But you have to make a change. You can't change them. You make the change. Join my gang, philsgang.com, so that we can take care of you. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're hitting a new year, and you should, at the same time, come in with a new attitude, a new philosophy that you're going to make money when the stock market goes down. That's right. This is the third bubble, and you don't think it's going to crash? The first bubble did. the .com, the second bubble, the housing and financial con. Why do you think the third bubble, which is twice as big as the two previous bubbles, is any different? It's not different. Matter of fact, it's worse. It's going to go down faster. The stock market is going to go down 50%. You're going to lose 50% of the money you have in the stock market. You're going to lose 45% of the equity you have in your home. You're going to lose 30% of the money you have in your savings. Yes, you are. Trust me. Join my gang, Phil's gang, so that we can show you how to benefit, how to profit. But you can't just sit there and own a stock. You got to learn how to short the market. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, everybody, the hot stocks Apple or Google, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What people don't understand is every stock is the same. If the institutions buy it, it goes up. If they don't, it goes down. It doesn't matter the name. That's why we use charts to identify money in, money out. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
February existing home sales down 7.1% month to month to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 5.08 million units. That is a huge miss, folks.
A huge miss. We got those numbers yesterday, and today we got some new numbers for new home sales.
Sales rose 2% in February to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 512,000 units. Now, the street was looking for about a 3% gain. Still, given that drop in January, we're still pretty weak for the first 2 months of this year. February sales were down 6% from a year ago.
Terrible. In fact, the single-family home sales, this rebound in February she's talking about, was concentrated in just one region of the United States. That's telling us, identifying for us, that the home sales, the home market sales, the market is softening. The momentum is coming out of it. We keep talking about that. I keep telling you how they keep telling us the economy is getting better and better, and they keep pointing to the housing market. How many times have they pointed to this housing market? And it's not true. It's just not true. Well, welcome to Phil's Gang. Today we're going to take a look at some more stocks. The market's pretty flat. It's up. I'm sorry, it's down now by 81 points. So there you go, down by 81 points. What I mean by flat is that we're going into a holiday. When you have a holiday like this, it's a shortened week, the volume starts to dry up a little bit as the big guys, the institutions who make the stocks really go up, they leave and they go to Aspen or wherever Martha's Vineyard, wherever they go with all the money they stole from the savers. And we're going to talk about that today too, that the savers, the seniors especially, have really been screwed by Wall Street, especially the Federal Reserve. You know, the Federal Reserve is the one that keeps the market going up. That's right, artificially, but they keep it going up. I don't understand. You know, I think the sooner that the average American learns that the Federal Reserve, a private company whose interest is not to help them, not to help Main Street, not to help the average individual. As soon as they learn that, that's not their function. The Federal Reserve, that's not their function to help the economy or to help you or me. That's not their function. Everybody believes it is, but it's not. It's to help themselves, their fellow banksters. The sooner people start recognizing that, identifying that, the sooner we can keep putting pressure on our Congress to dissolve the Federal Reserve. And I think we're going to have a good chance this time with a new president. There is no way we could get the Congress to dissolve the Federal Reserve. Not why we had the good old boy network in there. But if we get Trump in there, or I don't care who you get in there, Kasich, this will all change. And I think we'll have a good shot of getting rid of this terrible Federal Reserve that does not have our interest at heart. They do not care about the United States. They care about themselves. The Federal Reserve has taken President Obama's extend and pretend policy way too far. Way too far. They should have went back. Bernanke should have stopped it. Yellen should have stopped it. Went back to the president and says, look, enough and enough. We can't keep with this extend and pretend policy, which is nothing more than market manipulation. You can't keep manipulating the stock market to go up when the economy is going down, just so a small segment of the population get wealthy. What are you, nuts? But see, the problem is the president picks the person that's going to chair the Federal Reserve. When we keep hearing how the Federal Reserve is separate from the White House, that's a bunch of nonsense. That's a bunch of jibber jabber. Are you kidding? It's not separate. He picks who he wants to run it, and he picks the person that's going to follow his monetary policy. And that's why we got this market manipulation, because that was his policy. Obama's policy was extend and pretend that the market's going up when it's not. It's only going up through market manipulation. So at some point, we got to stop this Federal Reserve. Again, the Federal Reserve has stepped in, providing another $160 billion at almost near zero interest rates. They're providing $160 billion this quarter to CEOs to buy their own stock back, which is the extend and pretend policy of this administration. And the Federal Reserve keeps implementing this policy. Sure, the $160 billion came in. Matter of fact, much of that $160 billion came in at the end of the month. Matter of fact, if you look on a chart, if you look on a chart, a lot of that $160 billion came in around February 24th. February 24th. Because they couldn't move the market up anymore. They needed some help. There's no earnings. Earnings are terrible. Corporate profits are terrible. So after we had this big sell-off in January, starting from May, when I told you the stock market crash started, it did in May. It continued all the way down until February of this year, and then they stopped it. They stopped it by taking $160 billion, print up $160 billion, give it to the companies, buy their own shares back to stop it. Then they rallied it back up, and now we're up about 12%. And now the market stalled again. They're going to print some more money to push the market up again. This does not help. The extend and pretend policy is bad. This is manipulation of the stock prices. This is crazy. How long are we going to keep giving money to CEOs to keep buying the stock of their company to move the share price up when there's no increased profits, no increase in jobs, no increase in wages? As I said, much of that $160 billion was used starting February 12th to stop the market crash that started as of May 2015, which we were short. And then we saw the money coming back in. Then we changed the chart told us change our position. We did. And the market started to accelerate, started head up, and now she stalled. That's caused a bubble. So we came down 14%. They stopped it. They put this money in, and now the market's up 12%, called the short covering rally. Short covering rally. It's not sustainable. You have to keep on feeding it. It's like a monster. You got to keep on feeding it, just like they did QE1. If you noticed QE1, it went up 80%. Then all of a sudden they stopped, and then it started to retrace. They had to hurry up, come in with QE2. It went up about 40%, and then it stopped. When they stopped it, it retraced. They had to come in again. Instead of calling it QE3, they call it the twist. Went up again about 28%. Stop. it retraced again. Then finally they came in with the last QE, went up, and then it stopped, and then they brought in a whole bunch of money for stock buybacks to keep moving the stock market even higher. And you say, well, this is good, isn't it? Well, of course it's good. It's good from the point of view. If you are in the stock market, you are following a chart, you were a gang member, by God, it was wonderful. I feel so bad for the people who said, get me out of the market in 2009. I just want to hold on to my principal. Put me in savings, put me in CDs, put me in bonds, but get me out of the market. Those poor people got killed as interest rates stayed near zero. The stock buyback is part of QE. And QE, that real purpose of QE is to mask the backdoor bank bailout. We'll talk about that when we get back and how it affects you, and we'll take a look at some stocks. Phil Grande here at philsgang.com. Join my gang, 15 past the hour.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I'm going to tell you something about your 401k that you don't know. You know the 401k is a tax code? That's what it is. Here's how it worked. In the 80s, you had pension funds, but they decided to give their CEOs a benefit on top of the pension. It was called 401k. That was to shelter their income. That way they could keep the CEOs because it was very competitive. But when all the jobs were shipped overseas, they no longer could keep pension funds. Too expensive. So they shifted all their employees to a 401k, duping you, thinking it was a good deal. But what they did is they charged hidden fees, which amount to about $250 billion a day, that they gave to lobbyists to go to Washington to make sure that this 401k would never be transparent. Here's what came of it.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
That's right. So join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Do you ever notice they always tell you to buy, but they never tell you to sell? They never tell you to sell. Well, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you understand. When you buy a stock, and if all you do is buy, and you never sell short to make money where they're going down, you have to be so good. That means you got to buy the companies that are always going up. Nobody's that good. Nobody could possibly be that good. You got to make money just like you make money when you buy a stock. You got to make money when a stock goes down. That's how you even the playing field. That's how professionals make money. They make money going up and make money going down, but they don't tell you that. They just want you to try to make money going up. They don't want you to make money going down because they make that money on you. Join my gang, Phil's Gang. Learn how to short stocks at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know we're going to have not only a stock market crash in 2016, but a housing crash in 2016. Don't you like how they tell us the housing's in recovery and the market's in recovery and the economy's in recovery? When it's not. It's in a bubble. Take housing. They loaned to a Wall Street firm called Blackstone. $7 billion. They buy 41,000 houses to go rent. Are you nuts? When they can't collect the rents anymore, those houses are going on the market and going to depress the real estate business by 30 or 40%. It's the same thing with stocks. They loan people money 600% more than they ever did before to buy stocks. That's all debt. And when the market goes down, they're going to have to dump those stocks to pay back that debt. And boy, will the market drop. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
We're on our best 2-year job creation streak in 20 years.
What are you, nuts? Who'd believe that? Let me tell you the truth. First of all, the 292,000 jobs we got in December 2015, and they told us the unemployment rate is 5%. Not true. You can't trust these people on Wall Street. You can't trust the press. What they don't count is, in December, for example, the 615,000 discouraged workers. A discouraged worker is a person unemployed, gave up looking for work, but this administration does not count them as unemployed when calculating the 5% unemployment rate. Instead, they classify the discouraged as marginally attached to the labor force, but they're not considered part of the labor force or part of the unemployment. That's why you can't trust what they tell you. If we back into 625,000, the real unemployment rate is 12%, not 5%. That's why you got to join my gang, where you get the truth and where we use charts. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
All alone she was living in a world without an end or beginning. Baby girl was living.
Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
She was numb and she was so
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Let's go to the Stock Corner.
Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel. Go to philsgang.com, click on the video channel graphic, and check out Phil's free videos on the market, economy, and current events.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, the market is down 78 points. 78 points. Now, what is going on is the stock market, as I said, we've had this rally of about 12%. They stopped the market from collapsing. They printed money, came in, bought stocks, pushed the market back up around 12%. Now it's stalled. Because, see, when you're pushing the market up without earnings, just by buying its stock, manipulating the stock price up by buying its stock, the banks and the hedge funds, all the people that get money for free, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And we can see that right now in the S&P. And when you look on a chart in the S&P, it's not healthy. Not at all. As a chartist, I can look at my chart. I can bring it back a year. And what we have is a pattern that's breaking down. Breaking down. So you got to be ready for that. And it's not hard to get ready to short a stock. Shorting a stock is very easy, but no one tells you about shorting it because they don't want you to short stocks. Why would they? Shorting means you're going to take your stock, you're going to call your broker, say, I want my money, I'm going to short a stock. That means the same thing as taking your money out. And he gets paid on the amount of money that's in the fund. He doesn't get paid on the performance of the fund. So why would he let you take the money out? He's going to sell you either more stocks of another company or he's going to talk you into something else. He will not let you take the money out. His job is not to take care of you. Job is to take care of himself. And if anything, a new president should turn around and stop stock buybacks. And they've got to change the way a money manager gets paid. He's got to be paid on performance. I don't care if they turn it around and do 60-40. I'm more than willing to give a broker 60% of the profit if I know he is in there working hard for me and I have a fiduciary, he has a fiduciary relationship with me. Are you kidding? If I'm passive, I haven't got to do a thing. I'd give him 60%, 70%. I mean, because first of all, your 401k, you're not going to make any money anyways. Because they're not on your side. I love it when you go to the banks and they have these wealth programs. And they bring you up to the 20th floor. And they introduce you to someone who's going to take care of your money. And these big oak paneled rooms and the chandeliers, and they take you to lunch, and they're going to take care of your money, and they're your private investor. Are you kidding? They're just going to screw you more than the guy downstairs on the first floor. The higher you go in the building, the higher you go into a bank, this wealth management, the more stories you go up, the more you get screwed. It's like a meter. So just look at what floor. Just say, no, I'd rather have somebody on the first floor. I don't want to go to the 30th floor with all the oak panel walls and so forth in offices. I'm really going to get screwed up there 30 times more than I would the guy on the first floor. Nobody's on your side in the financial arena, in the financial system. You're really on your own. The only time somebody was on your side is before they deregulated the market. It was Clinton. I told you yesterday, we talked about that. It was Clinton who deregulated the market. What a liar. We talked about that yesterday. He's the one that crushed Glass-Steagall. That was a perfect law, Glass-Steagall Act. That was perfect. They identified after the crash in 1929 why it happened. And they said, we got to break the banks up. We can never put all these gangsters together at one time. We got to break these banks up. So if you're a savings bank, you're a savings bank. If you're a commercial bank, you're a commercial bank. If you sell insurance, you sell insurance. No more can you be under one roof. It was beautiful. 1929. We never had a real crash until 1987. Why? Because again, when they started to get rid of this Glass-Steagall. Terrible. So let's take a look. The market's now down 94 points. So what are we going to do here at Phil's Gang? What we are doing here at Phil's Gang, we have got some wonderful profits. Goldman Sachs, Intel. Here, just take Intel. Intel, we had a buy signal Intel around $31, and now today it's around 30. We got a buy signal at $30, and today it's around $32. We had a nice little 6% rally, still looking good. We have, that was Intel. We have IBM, that we had a buy signal around $131, and today it's around $146. That's a very nice, that's an 11% return. Then we had Caterpillar. We had a buy signal on Caterpillar around $63. Today it's $74. That's a 17% return. Schlumberger, we had a buy signal at around $67. Today it's around $73. Now that's 8%. Those same 5 stocks we follow all year. That's right. Now we're going to be watching each one of these stocks because now they've hit phase 3. There's 4 phases to a stock. We're going to prepare when these stocks start coming back down. We're going to be ready. I'm watching Schlumberger right now. We're getting ready to short it again. Short it again. So we'll pick our money on the way up and we'll short it on the way back down. Because we follow the same 5 stocks all year. Yes, we have bonus stocks. We've been doing great with gold and copper. We're up over 100% in those. But the key is to follow the same 5 stocks. You put those on a chart. And you buy them when they go up, and you sell them short when they go down. This is not hard stuff. So then you don't care if they're manipulating the market. It doesn't care. You don't care. You can sleep at night. Because you make money when the market goes up or the market goes down. It doesn't make any difference. Join the gang, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. The 401k big lie. They tell you invest $10,000 a year for 30 years, compounded at 6% annually. You will have a grand total of $245,000 to retire. That is not true. That is not the truth. What they don't tell you is the hidden fees. There's 27 hidden fees in your 401k. When you're all done, you lose half of what you put aside for your retirement. That's right, half. And another thing, you're not allowed to do individual stocks in a mutual fund. And you're not allowed to make money when stocks go down. That's ridiculous. Would you buy a car with just forward and no reverse? Why would you ever be in a fund that you can't make money when the stock market goes down? Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to what Fisher said, the former Fed governor.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
That's right. Did you hear that? They took the stock market, front-loaded it, ran it 200%, so we ended up not only with a fake stock market, but fake GDP, fake money, fake jobs, fake prices, fake everything. But we took advantage of that, and we're going to take advantage again. That's why I told my gang in May to short the market. On 5/29, that's May 29th, I'm telling you to short the stock market. And we were right. And the market went down over 11%. That's why you got to join my gang and learn how to short stocks just as much as buying them. Learn how to short with me, Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to what Fisher said, the former Fed governor.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish the wealth effect.
That's right. Did you hear that? They took the stock market, front-loaded it, ran it 200%, so we ended up not only with a fake stock market, but fake GDP, fake money, fake jobs, fake prices, fake everything. But we took advantage of that, and we're going to take advantage again. That's why I told my gang in May to short the market. On 5/29, that's May 29th, I'm telling you to short the stock market. And we were right. And the market went down over 11%. That's why you got to join my gang and learn how to short stocks just as much as buying them. Learn how to short with me, Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
AMVA, and I've lost over 30K on it, but it had excellent earnings the last several quarters, and if they make the cameras and drone equipment, I don't know why it's so weak these days.
It's so weak these days because you don't pay attention to what they make. You don't care about their earnings. The problem is the institutions are pulling their money out, and that's all you need to know, and that's what we identify in the chart, and that's why I become a Phil's Gang member.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, it's been 7 years now since Obama ordered his Fed chairman to lower the savings rate from 5% to less than 0.25%. With a false narrative, it would spur economic growth and jobs. Everyone would have an opportunity in this economy. That's what he said. But what it spurred was a front-loading of the biggest, fake, unsustainable stock market rally of 200%. That's what it spurred. Now, most people did not participate in that rally because people got out of their 401k in 2009. And they said, just get me out. I want nothing but fixed income. And they got killed because with low interest rates, fixed incomes get murdered. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to really retire, you got to be associated with the stock market. That's why you come to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Anybody who puts money in my pocket is my friend, and Phil Grande can do the same for you. Learn how to grow and invest your money. Here's Phil Grande.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Everybody keeps asking me, are we going to do another QE? Are we going to do another QE? because everybody knows QE means the market goes straight up because it's fake. It's fake. The markets don't last. Not sustainable. It's a big bubble. But boy, you make a lot of money on the way up. And unfortunately, when we had the QE, most people got too scared. They were so scared after the market crashed in 2008, 2009, they jumped out. They jumped out and went to money market funds or bonds. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? By the way, oil. Don't get caught up with this oil. Everybody's so excited about oil now. They're saying that all the jibber jabbers tell us that oil is hit a bottom. Got up near 39, 40 bucks. They said, well, that's it. It's going to keep going up. No, it's not. There's no demand for oil. Just like our gold, our mining stock. We did wonderful, our gold and mining stocks. AU up 104%. Copper, we're up 106%. But what do you think we're doing? We're taking profits. We don't believe it's just going to stay there. We go just buy and hold? Of course not. Take MRO. That's an oil that's refiner. Now, refiners, our refiners, MRO, when I said to buy our refiners, we bought it, we got our buy signal, and it went up 37%. 37%. Now it's pulling back. But we started to take profits last Friday. Because what do we know? We know that oil, first of all, the chart is showing us the buying has stopped. Oil, the oil refiners, the golds, they all went up, but not because of demand, because of a rigged market capital system. Now, Bernanke, it's amazing. At least Draghi last week told us the truth, what quantitative easing is about. Quantitative easing, and I told you this before, is used to mask its real purpose, a backdoor bank bailout. That's how they bail the banks, they bail them out through the back door using QE. They mask it. They mask it. They know there's so much anger out there, they would never come out and say, imagine in 2009, everybody lost their home, money, their jobs. Come out, oh, we're bailing out the banks now. There'd be a riot in this country. So instead, they lie. They lie to us. They tell us, oh, QE is for the economy. It's terrific. Terrific. Remember, I played this yesterday.
The purpose of the monetary policy easing is not to increase stock prices per se. The purpose is to strengthen the U.S. economy, put people back to work, and create price stability.
Oh, come on. QE? That's a lie. It's not about the economy. It's not about the average American on Main Street. It's about the 1 percentile, the elitists and their banks, to save their banks, to prop up their banks, to prop them up long enough to figure out how to save them, how to get out of trouble. That's all it is. You do not get a wage hike with QE. You do not get a new job because of QE. You do not get a loan for your business because of QE. It's all a lie. It's to give banks time to earn their way out of trouble by screwing the average American, starting with screwing savers and retirees out of their savings rates. That's where it starts first. That's how you get to zero money. When you screw the savers and you screw the retirees and you take their savings rates from them and drop them from 40% to nothing, that's where they get the 0% funding for the banks, for the rich. For the Wall Street boys. That's where do you think they get the 0% money? They get it from the savers. They get it from the retirees. And then it reduces capital investment, which prohibits a wage hike, prohibits new jobs, reduces productivity. And what does that reduce? Our standard of living. Has our standard of living been reduced? Oh, you betcha. Our standard of living has been reduced. People are living from paycheck to paycheck because of this QE. The middle class is getting wiped out. See, that's the problem with Obama's rigged market capital system compared to a free market capital system. See, the biggest problem with a rigged market capital system is lying becomes second nature.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan, period.
If you believe we've finally come to the point where we can put the awful legacy of the last 8 years behind us and the 7 years before that when we were practicing trickle-down economics and no regulation in Washington.
Yeah, no regulations. Everybody's fault but his, but it was his fault. We talked about that before. It was Clinton who repealed the Glass-Steagall Act, the cornerstone of the bank regulation. Remember, he killed Glass-Steagall Act. He did it by introducing the Graham-Leach-Bailey Act, and then he signed the Commodities Future Modernization Act so that he could deregulate derivatives that caused the housing market to crash, because with the derivatives, they could go out and bundle the subprime mortgages, sell the subprime mortgages, screw the investors, tell them, oh, this is great stuff. This is great. I got $1 million worth of subprime. Oh, they're beautiful. And by the way, don't worry about it. If they ever don't pay you, here's a derivative. Here's your insurance policy. And the derivatives were worth nothing. It was a scam. At least Draghi came out and said, hey, he admitted, we're doing this to make the banks flush, not the economy. Because see, what he's saying is without the banks, you're not going to have an economy. The financial engineering of extend and pretend policies, that market manipulation, has been put in place by Obama. Then he forces, or he tells Bernanke, he picks Bernanke to be his guy, and he has to carry it out. Then he picks Yellen to be his girl, and has to carry it out. So right now, we're just exactly where we were before the crash of 2008. God, you see things all over again. It's wonderful. The clock comes back to 12. You can stomp it, you can kick it, you can throw it off a cliff, but the clock always comes back to 12, doesn't it? What we're seeing right now is the same thing that we saw in 2008, right before the crash. Exact same thing. All bad news right now is good news. Yeah. The same thing, the same atmosphere we had before the crash of 2008. And yet, the worse the economic numbers get, the more we see optimism. Look at yesterday, the report, 7.1% drop in previously owned home sales. No big deal. Nobody cares. You take a look at the VIX. That's our fear meter. The fear meter. It is so low, it registered no fear at all. Nobody fears the stock market is going to come down. It's the same thing that happened right before the stock market crashed. Yeah, I love this. And know what I really love? I love the newsletters. All these dopes, all these financial geniuses who sell you these newsletters, I love it. I love reading them. I love reading them. You know why? Because right now, just like 2008, they're all positive. The economy is getting better. The same optimism we saw in 2008. The jibber jabbers. I remember the jibber jabbers in 2008. Same thing. Everything's getting better. Look at this. They point out, like they're pointing out right now, the market's nearing another all-time new high. The dollar's getting stronger. Real estate prices are soaring. Over 225,000 new jobs a month. Look at the jobs we're getting, they tell us. Exactly what happened in 2008, right before the crash. And the newsletters are the best thing in the world, because when you see all these newsletters and they're so optimistic, start shorting. Or at least you don't. If you're not a gang member, you don't know how to short, please don't short. Join my gang. This market started to crash in May of 2015. We're still in the crash. It's being interrupted with the stock buybacks. That's fine. We're making money on the way up, the snapback. But I want you prepared. I want you prepared so that when this market crashes this time, the third crash, I want you to be ready. I'm reaching out to you. I will help you. I will help you. I'll put you in position. So easy to do. And the services that I offer are for $49.95. Are you nuts? Coffee talk first thing in the morning, so you know exactly what's going on for the day. 9:30 in the morning to 11 o'clock every day, live. Come right to my site. I'm working right on the stocks. You can see it. Help you out. Nothing like it. Join my gang. We'll be right back. We're going to talk a little bit about Walter Scheer in his wonderful book.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Everybody was asking me, how did I know to short forward when it was November? And it was when Aunt B was telling us everything was fine. Well, what people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us. Because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal, and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. What is Phil's Gang? Phil'sGang.com is a subscription website service that host Phil Grande has been teaching and providing daily stock investment recommendations for over 15 years, all in the name of making its customers educated investors and helping the kids at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you want to take charge of your financial future, then do not wait any longer. For only $49.95, become a Phil's Gang member today. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Time is the one thing that we want more of as a St. Jude parent. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow, they pretty much have saved us.
They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better. Time is the one thing that we want more of. Without the donors, I wouldn't have my Audrey. They take care of our housing. They take care of our food. In addition to the best medical treatment that my daughter could ever have. So it allows me to focus on my daughter and getting her better.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're hitting a new year, and you should, at the same time, come in with a new attitude, a new philosophy that you're going to make money when the stock market goes down. That's right. This is the third bubble, and you don't think it's going to crash? The first bubble did. The dot-com, the second bubble, the housing and financial con. Why do you think the third bubble, which is twice as big as the two previous bubbles, is any different? It's not different. Matter of fact, it's worse. It's going to go down faster. The stock market is going to go down 50%. You're going to lose 50% of the money you have in the stock market. You're going to lose 45% of the equity you have in your home. You're going to lose 30% of the money you have in your savings. Yes, you are. Trust me. Join my gang, Phil's Gang, so that we can show you how to benefit, how to profit. But you can't just sit there and own a stock. You got to learn how to short the market. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. We talk about optimism. You want a shot of optimism? I'll give you a shot of optimism. Just pick up Walter's Way, book by Walter Scheer, good friend of mine, wonderful guy, an entrepreneur. We're hoping to have we are going to, I'll just give you the date. I'll let you know the date. We're going to have a book signing where you'll meet Walter. I mean, how many times do you have an opportunity to meet somebody who lived in the era of MacArthur? Not only lived in the era, but who was tapped by MacArthur to do a merger of Sperry and Rand? Yeah. How many times in your life do you meet somebody who worked for MacArthur or for Rickover? I mean, the stories are incredible. The people that he's worked with. I mean, how many times do you meet somebody like that? You can sit down and have an unbelievable discussion about Rickover, the Polaris nuclear submarine. Isn't it amazing? Well, we hope to do that for you, and we're going to have a book signing. You can talk to Walter and all the tremendous experience he has, incredible, and what he came from, what he had to overcome. You talk about optimism. Right now, why don't you order the book, waltersway.org. waltersway.org. This is enthusiasm. Everybody in the country should read this book. I'm going to make sure they do. Optimism. Why have we seen such optimism in the expansion of gold? Look at the gold link stocks. They went up 49%. We bought them and got a 49% return. Our gang bought AU, another gold stock, gold mining stock, 104% return. Copper, another 106% return. And I told everybody last Friday, start taking profits. Why? Just like oil, we saw oil go up. Look at Schlumberger. Schlumberger is going up 15%. This is amazing. They really believe it. When the oil and the golds and the commodities and everything is going up, it's okay. It's now, the bottom is in, they're telling us. How could the bottom be in? When you go and look at these commodities that rallied and you look behind the curtain, there's no demand. There's no demand for them. How do they go up? It's called financial engineering. And if you're a gang member, see, you will be part of the gang who gets these kind of returns. Now, I'm not suggesting every gang member caught copper and got 106% or gold 104%. I'm not suggesting that at all. I'm telling you, this is where we identified the entry. This is where we told our students and we showed and explained like we do every day. You come to my class at 9:30, or it's archived if you can't. 9:30, and you're with me live right to 11 o'clock, and then all during the day I'm giving you updates. You had plenty of opportunities. So maybe a gang member didn't get in exactly at 6:30. Maybe he, instead of 106%, he got 10% or 5% or 50%. But the point is, you know where to get in. But here's the other point. You know when it starts going back down, you sell it short. I don't have all the answers, but I know one thing. I don't understand this optimism that's out there with CNBC and Bloomberg and all these people that come on these shows. It's amazing, isn't it? The economy's getting better. Look at the jobs. Jobs are terrible. We see low savings. And there's a direct correlation between low savings and a slow recovery. Don't you know that? And debt has increased because consumers at the end of the month, they have nothing left. So what do? They go to their credit cards and they built up debt on their credit cards. They're living from paycheck to paycheck, and at the end of the month, they're $1,200 short. They put it on their credit card. They're using their credit cards like it's a savings account, for God's sakes. It's a line of credit. Where's the optimism? When the Federal Reserve has looted our seniors, taken their 4% interest on their money and drop it to zero, just so they can take and market and take that money and give it to the company CEOs so they can buy their own shares back. So they can give money to CEOs of companies at zero. So they screw the seniors. Then they say, oh, the economy is coming back. Where? Where's it coming back? Social Security. Think about that. First, they take the seniors and they loot them by taking their interest, their money on CDs and their money on savings, and reduce it from 4% to nothing. Then the Social Security. On top of looting their savings, what do they do with Social Security? It's a Ponzi scheme. It's going to leave them with nothing. It's just like Bernie Sanders. He left his clients with nothing. Well, the government is going to leave you with nothing. Don't depend on Social Security. It's going to leave you with nothing. See, the same thing that happened with Bernie Sanders is happening with the government. They're both Ponzi schemes. They operate the same way. They need new contributors to keep the scheme going. Bernie Madoff and Bernie Sanders, he probably did the same thing. Who knows? Bernie, no, he wouldn't do that because he's a communist. Look, there's no difference between Social Security Ponzi scheme and Madoff's Ponzi scheme. You've got to get new contributors. You got to get them to pay off the earlier contributors. The problem for our seniors is our Congress has looted the Social Security box for pork so they can get reelected. Put in skating rinks, parks. So when they get reelected, oh, isn't he a nice man? Look, he put the skating park in. Or the skating rink or whatever. They loot your money to keep the people back home so they can get back to Congress. They don't care about that we lack. 95 million people are out of work. Do you think they care? College kids can't find a job. They're living in the cellars and the attics of their parents' homes. There's not enough new contributions. See, when you don't have these college kids come out and get a job, when you got 95 million people already out of work, the kid graduates from college, he's got $20,000, $30,000 in debt, he can't get a job, you don't have enough people contributing to payroll tax. And then they don't go out there and start doing deals to make money. There's not enough money being contributed. What seniors don't realize is Social Security has come to an end in 2016. They think it's still fine. They don't realize it came to an end this year. It's being propped up, just like the stock market's being propped up. It's still being looted every day, but they keep propping it up. Another reason why they can't fix our bridges and our roads. And this is the funny thing. Everybody believes the optimism. I look at the VIX index. It indicates the fear in the market. You know, it's almost at zero. There's no fear in the stock market. Because you know what people really believe? They believe the Federal Reserve, these gangsters, they're like the firehouse right around the corner from them. They will save them within seconds. This is what they believe. All these guys on Wall Street really believe. The bankers believe. The CEOs believe. Oh, don't worry. That's why there's no fear in the market. Nobody fears them. There's no fear. Hey, they're going to come back. Hey, they're the firehouse, man. No problem. They'll fix it. Yellen claims we have a 4.9% unemployment rate, 2.3% core CPI, and a 23 PE on our S&P. And the other day, she didn't raise rates? Wait, something's wrong here. If you truly believe if you have a 4.9% unemployment rate, 2.3% core CPI, and a 23 PO on the S&P, you should be raising rates. Why didn't she raise them? In fact, she said the 4 rates that she would raise this year, she cut it back to 2. Because she knows she's lying. She knows the profits for corporations are down 18.5%. Yet the PE for the S&P is up 24. That's why she didn't raise rates. But boy, they'll tell you in newsletters, they'll tell you everything's just fine. Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. First of all, again, I'm just looking at the Walters book. I look at him because he is an inspiration. I mean, he is the guy that made the fax machine possible. And boy, the stories he can tell you. I mean, he's an entrepreneur. I mean, imagine he headed Sperry Rand. And I mean, the stories are incredible. His experience. We'll have some fun. We're gonna do a signing, book signing, and I'll let you know where it is. But what I want you to do is just like, if you join the gang, you're not going to have to ever worry after you get those profits going up. Like MRO. Right now, it's pulling back. But we can tell if it's just pulling back to take profits or it's pulling back because it's going to crash. No, it's not pulling back. It's going to crash. They're taking profits. It started to pull back today. But guess when we took our profits? We took our profits on Friday. Last Friday, we took our profits. We knew by looking at the chart. You join the gang. We have a wonderful program for you. You can sleep at night. Everything will be okay. I swear it'll be okay. Just join the gang. 877-600-GANG. Don't forget to pick up Walter's book, Walter's Way. Walter's Way. Go to waltersway.org. Join my gang tonight and sleep.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.